Alright! So, Need for Speed Heat was announced about a couple weeks ago, and I've been waiting a little while to watch the dust settle before making any more content about it. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think we've got some cool stuff to talk about. First off, I'm going to talk about the car list. We will be getting 127 cars, but many of those cars are essentially different variations of the same car. The i8 Coupe and Roadster, M4 Convertible, M4 Coupe, M4 GTS, C7 ZR1, C7 Grand Sport, 458 Italia, 458 Spider, F-Type Coupe, F-Type Convertible. Okay, I think I've made my point there. So we're getting some convertibles in the game. I'm more of a Target guy myself, but that's just me. And hey, it's cool that they're doing it now. Because the last game I can think of where they even had convertibles was Hot Pursuit 2. Or at least that's the last one I played that had them. And while I don't necessarily care for convertibles, I do think it's interesting that not only are we getting the Lamborghini Aventador S and Huracan and their convertible variants, but we are also going to get to play with the Aventador SVJ and the Huracan Performante. I'm especially excited for the Performante. If we move down the list to Nissan, we see that we are getting not only the standard R35 GTR, but the Nismo R35 as well. We will also be getting the 370Z Nismo and the 50th anniversary 370 as well. I think it's interesting that we aren't getting any special variations of the R32 or R34, and we don't have the R33. I think it would be neat to have either a Nurspec R34 or even one of the Nismo cars like the S-Tune, R-Tune, or Z-Tune, or F-Sport, or whatever. There's also, of course, various 911s. And for some reason, they didn't add my WRX to the game.
You have failed me.
There are some cars I'm especially excited for, or at the very least curious about. The Lamborghini Diablo SV, which I thought was a GTR because of the rear wing from the trailer, but still, very cool. The Huracan Performante is something I already mentioned. I'm hoping that the new Liberty Walk kit will be a customization option in the game, but since it's a new kit, my hopes aren't particularly high. Speaking of body kits we would like in the game but aren't, the R34 GTR still doesn't seem to have the COS kit as an option.
You have failed me for the last time, Admiral.
Not only is the McLaren P1 in the game, but also my dream hypercar race car, the P1 GTR, is in it as well. The BMW M3 GTR race car is also specifically named in the list. And all I can say is, I hope they get the sound right. Speaking of sound, let's talk about the exhaust tuning section. When fine-tuning the sounds of our cars, we will have 4 sliders: tone, timbre, overrun, and resonance. And as far as I can tell, the impact the sliders have are only noticeable if you're really paying attention, or if you do something to the extreme where you have everything to the max or something. It doesn't feel all that significant to me, but I think it's a step in the right direction. What I think would be really cool is if, when recording sounds for the game, they record different versions of the same car. Like for instance, if you're recording the sounds of R34 GTRs, you record the sound of a stock one. You record the sound of a upgraded twin turbo one with a different front pipe, one that's single turbo. You get the idea. Same thing with other cars too, if that's possible. However, something I did not see coming at all is that there will apparently be engine swaps. I don't know if that means we get to swap engines from specific cars, or if it's going to be like Forza Horizon, where it's generic 2-liter inline 4, generic 3-liter inline 6, generic 6.2-liter V8, and so on. I have no idea how this is going to work, but I am intrigued because it has never been done in a Need for Speed game. I'm hoping we'll actually get to pick engines based on their codes, so stuff like the BMW S54, BMW S65, BMW S85, Lamborghini V10, Lamborghini V12, the Nissan RB26, the SR20, the Toyota 2JZ, the Mazda 13B, the Honda K20, all that stuff. Also, by the way, speed cars from Payback are gone. Zip Ripperino. I think I've already talked about this. Instead, performance parts are going to be filtered under the categories of engine, chassis, drivetrain, and auxiliary. I'm not sure what the last one could be, but we'll see. And oh my god, you can pick specific types of forced induction when building your car. You got naturally aspirated, single turbo, twin turbo, root supercharger, centrifugal supercharger, and you can nerd out in a Need for Speed game now. Also good news, you have to unlock performance parts by leveling up. One issue I had with the last game, Payback, is that if you had enough money, you could max out a car just by farming the first race in the game, making it super easy to beat everyone until you reach the end of the game. With this, I'm forced to keep my immersion, earn things, and actually have some difficulty early on. Hopefully. Cars are no longer classified from the moment you buy them. Instead, you can determine what kind of racing your cars will excel at by tuning them accordingly. And you can see where your car stands on the spectrum by using the helpful grid that tells you what direction the car is leaning towards when it comes to off-road, road, drift, and race. BBS wheels are in the game now, as you can see in the trailer, and also the Mobile Heat Studio app, where you can build your cars, do some visual customizations, and then take the things you've done in the app and load them up on your game on your computer or console. Visual customization is basically the same as the last game, and can I just say, why is it that when I lower my car, I'm forced to have camber? It makes my car look broken. What the heck? Square stance, please. The weird loot boxes from the last game are gone, and now it would seem things like underglow, colored tire smoke, and exhaust flames will be under the effects category. When it comes to paint and wraps, it looks the same as the last game, with the exception that the paint can now have some extra cool textures to give it the finish you wanted but couldn't get before. There are going to be crews in Need for Speed Heat as well. Maybe I should make a crew and see if any of you guys want to join me. Only downside is that I will be playing on PC, and I imagine many of you are console, so we'll just have to see. Gameplay during the night is all about earning rep by winning street races and escaping the cops. Cop chases this time around appear to be more complex. Whether that makes them better remains to be seen, but I am optimistic.
I said right now!
Rhinos, kill switches, Corvette cop cars, helicopters,
Police helicopter!
It also looks like our cars will have health bars during the chases, and I assume that if our cars run out of health and die, we get busted and lose, and we rage and break something. If you decide to leave the garage and just feel like racing, with a lot of Pro Street vibes I might add, then you can enjoy the daytime gameplay. Cops are supposed to be less aggressive during the day, and it sounds like daytime racing is more about earning money as opposed to earning rep at night. Not super clear on that, but it's interesting that they are separate, especially if you want to do a grind, because you would have to do some kind of weird switcheroo if you're wanting to farm both cash and rep. Avatar creation and customization in Need for Speed. To be honest, I didn't see this coming at all, but it doesn't look terrible. In fact, I'm willing to say it looks better than Forza Horizon 4's character customization, and is not as good as GTA Online's character creation. So it's somewhere in the middle. You can sift through various hairstyles, there are actual licensed clothing brands, and the character models don't look terrible. On the bright side, it doesn't look like there is any dabbing, and there aren't any chicken suits or lemon heads or crowns. That can be good for some people and bad for others, I guess. Moving on, there is the new handling model. I wish I could comment on this, but unfortunately I haven't gotten to play the game, so I can only hope they've made improvements and that the article EA made about it isn't full of lies like a bag of chips. They have claimed braked drift is gone. It has been reported by people who have played the game that drifting no longer gives you an advantage over people who want to drive like normal human beings. And you can spin out. As in, now when you drift, you have to pay attention and adjust your steering and throttle, otherwise you fail. And I am thinking about pre-ordering the deluxe super special pay us extra money you get it 3 days early edition, so yes, that means I will be doing a Let's Play and other content with the game when it comes out. So hey, if you enjoyed this video, want to see others like it, and also just want to see me play the game when it comes out, or cover more news about it before it comes out, then hit the subscribe button and join the TRJ crew. I'm starting to actually get kinda excited. Anyways, this is Tom, the Racing Joker, signing out. I'll see you all next time. Keep it crazy, everybody.